Hi guys, this is Kyle from Regrettable Props, and today we're showcasing my Republic Commando cosplay. As you can currently see, it's made out of all foam. The only pieces that are made out of foam board are the backpack, the gun itself, the DC-17M, I was accidentally calling it the DC-15M, and these elbow pieces. The shoes are just some spare shoes I had, which I used some vinyl as a covering for them and kind of just templated it out. The dirt is just spray adhesive and then thrown on so it sticks there. Even rub like so it's just like the powder left, and then some black spray paint. Painted with essentially all spray paint for your entire build of a trim-clad white. Here you can see the helmet. Let's get the focus. It's a pet build. People were asking if I could make it out of foam. I'm not sure how, but you can see there's the padding inside. During cons, I can keep my phone right here, and that's perfectly fine. I can just keep it there, be on a call if I need to. And the 9-volt battery pack just goes right there. There is a blue LED strip which faces outwards. It does not, you cannot see the strip itself, just the illuminating part, and then kinda from here you can see where the strip's located. The visor is a 2-liter Pepsi bottle or Coke bottle that's been tinted with nightshade. I would not recommend using nightshade because of how inconsistent and splotchy it can be, but if you do it very thin coats, slow, read the instruction, follow it, you can get a pretty decent looking finish. Shoulders might be a little too big. They're held on with black webbing at the top of this chest piece. There are some buckles, male connectors and female connectors holding the calves and shins together, and these pieces can be separate, but they're connected just for ease. And same with these, they're also connected, and they all tie in to the waist or torso portion, which is okay. I used the file for it, but it didn't have all the detail, and there's a lot of seam lines where you don't want them to be, which I should probably do in the future, is rebuild this, since I have this huge open section in the back, and that's because I cannot fit my butt through it. Without having it cut open, I cannot fit it into the waist. Into the backpack, which I think is a little small in proportions, but I used a pet build and kind of transferred it over to foam board. This is supposed to have an LED light ups display. I have not done that yet since I am deciding on the number to use or something, because it's supposed to have an indicator of your number. It's held onto the back of the chest by magnets. There's some metal plates that are hot glued onto the back, and there's some screws that slip out so it slots in and rests on those screws, and then as extra insurance, it just has the magnets and metal. The hand plates are just also foam board. Let's see. The caps are left open at the back, or else I would not be able to fit my feet through them, and to save having them be much larger than they need to be able to have my foot to be able to go through, I've just left the slit open at the back. Here's the DC-17M. Zoom in a bit more, focus, okay. It's made of foam board, as mentioned. It's okay. In regards to finish, there's a loss. It was my first attempt making a gun out of foam board. As you can see right here, that's where the speaker is, and then in the barrel, it's too dark due to the camera or the shadow, is where the repeating LED is, and I have a trigger or button on the trigger right there. And what I have right here is showing where I house the 9-volt batteries, 2 of them, one for the LED strip as I mentioned before, and the other for the repeating soundboard, the repeating light and the soundboard. and they just get tucked in there, and that piece of foam board gets held in place with some pins and needles. If you are affected by strobe lights, look away. And here's what it would look like with the repeating if I'm shooting, for example. I used the soundboard from Jango Fett's Ruby's Blaster because of the repeating sound. I don't have the correct audio file as mentioned before, but it suits the purpose because it sounds like a blaster. Not many people may know the Clone Commando blaster sound, but it certainly works for the time being. I was mentioning in the last video I did, I want to be making this out of EVA foam. That way it's more durable. I can get some more detail and clean up some of these like hot glue seam lines. Like this is just crudely done. It's just like electrical tape shaped into a cone. So from a far enough distance, it's perfect. But up close, as you guys can currently see, which you may not have been able to before, you can see it's not all that turns out to be. And it's just like multiple pieces of foam board stacked together. So what I'm going to do now for you guys is throw it all on. Do a little time lapse or a sped up portion of me throwing everything on.